Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is Jay-Zan. This is Planet Explorers. Planet Explorers is created by Pathia Games. It's a next generation Minecraft game. Kinda. It's a fairly a role playing game in with a voxel based world where you go about exploring a planet that you crash landed on, um, and you are going around gathering resources, collecting players. Well, collecting NPCs who had also crash landed onto this planet, and your goal is to survive. There's a single player campaign that I've been working my way through on the world, and the planet is freaking enormous. It's just crazy. There's also multiplayer mode, which lets you play online. Single player mode is a randomly generated. Not, it's not a randomly generated world. It's a uh, specifically designed world, so you can play through the plot. But multiplayer is randomly generated. So if you want new worlds to explore, whatever, you can do it on multiplayer and work with or against other players and that sort of jazz. So let's show you what the game is. There's different modes. There's story mode, which lets you do the story, and then adventure, which is it just lets you do what you want. You can go build or whatever. You can kill monsters, all that sort of noise. I don't really see why you would want to do adventure over story, since story kind of gives you a little bit more to do, and you still have a giant world. But that's your choice too. This is out. This is alpha. This is still a early access build of the game, and it's pretty cool so far. Um, but we'll continue off where I'm at. There's not really spoilers per se. I just won't do any of the plot, but it's there's not really a lot of spoilers. There's mostly the quests that you do just kind of introduce you to the more difficult enemies, and you're slowly progressing crafting recipes for new equipment and new items and all that sort of stuff. And there's a ton of side quests, and there's a ton of main quests. Um, so this is the game. Basically, yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. For instance, you can chop any trees that you want. You can mine into the ground if you want. You get shovels and all this sort of stuff. And as you upgrade your tools, you get new equipment, new items, and all that sort of stuff. Larger dig holes, and there's a bunch of different types of weapons, from medieval crap like bows and arrows and swords to rifles and blasters and vehicles and all sorts of stuff. You can build. The thing that makes this game stand apart from others is you can construct anything that you want. Pretty much, as you get parts for it, you can build. For instance, this is the specific creation system. If you want to build vehicles and stuff or your own weapons, you can design them on your own in this 3D builder. So I'll show you how to create a vehicle. We'll create a small vehicle, and this is kind of how it works. You get your parts, and these are just the parts that I've unlocked so far. You can get well, these are some of the parts that I've unlocked, and as you build it, you want to start off. For instance, like you're gonna build you definitely need an engine on your vehicle, and then with a cockpit, and then right here, and then you got your cockpit, and then your tires. A little too big for this thing. You get your rubber tires. You can assign wheels to do specific things. Like you can make this your right steering tire, and then you make this one your left steering tire. And so when you drive, these are the only two that move, and these ones push you forward. You can also make these your steering tires too, just depending on how you want to do it. And then I can add turrets to it, right in the front right here. Now it's got a immense turret. I mean, obviously I'm not making it look that good, but so after you get your active parts, these are the ones that you buy and create in the game. This is how you can make it look however you want. We're gonna hide the parts for now. So you have your materials here, and you can just build however you want. You can one voxel at a time, or you can do a whole layer right there, and you can dig it out and make it look however you want. Um, so like, I don't know, if I wanted to make that look like I don't know, some place to sit on or stand on or wherever, I can do that. Change it to like gold or something, or marble. etc. And you kind of get the point. And then as you create it, you can export the ISOs, your creations, and give them to other players, and then they can use your creations, or likewise you can use their creations, and then you build it inside the game and then you use it. I don't have the resources right now to make a vehicle, but that's how you do it. And there's things like gliders, and there's a lot of different things you can do. You can construct a base and surround it with turrets. I wasn't far enough drop. I was hoping to get my glider to do some gliding action, but I don't think I really have. This might work right here. Do a little gliding action up here. Give you guys a show, and then I'll show you some combat here. Combat is really lackluster right now. The enemies are a little bit overpowered and the like, but this is alpha, so woo! All right, and let's see if we can find some minis. There's some on the map on the bottom right, on the little mini map. Oh, so this is my local area right here. And this is the world. It doesn't look too big on this map until you start moving. You realize it takes from here to here. It takes like 20 minutes to walk. So this planet is freaking enormous. I've played about probably like 4.5 hours or so, and this is all I've explored. Just this area right here. And there's a pretty large variety of things to. I'm gonna make a axe. I don't know if I have enough for a gold axe. Let's find out real quick. And then I'll cut down. Yeah, I don't have enough gold. We'll make it just the copper axe. All right. Well, here's combat. So I'm gonna use my sword. It's a little bit hard to do. Kinda. Enemies will run away, and that's where ranged weapon will come in handy. Did I get him? No. You have to construct your own. You have to craft your bullets and stuff, and you gather various resources, meat, and all this sort of stuff. You use meat as currency, and then in that cave is an area that you can't see. So I'm not even gonna go in there. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you some wood cutting and show you how that works in this game. Let me finish making that copper axe. Did I make it? No, I just got attacked. So let's make that copper axe real quick. Alright, got one. It requires 12 copper ore that I've already mined. So we're going to equip that at copper axe. Where's it at? It's in equipment. And you have a full RPG crafting system. Right here. This is your full inventory. You can actually wear all these different pieces of equipment from boots, legs, that glider, helmet, etc. And yeah, oxygen, stamina, and all this stuff. Oxygen's only an issue underwater. At least that I've experienced. And you can pretty much cut down almost every tree that you see. There's all kinds of different kinds of trees. I'm just in a foresty area. I'll go into a different area after I cut this tree down, just to give you some idea and some of the biomes. There's nothing unique about this forest area. It looks like any other forest. It doesn't really feel like any kind of special planet. So that's why I'm going to show you the plains area where it looks a lot more alien. So after I cut this tree, so you things that you kill based on the size of the enemy that you actually see is going to be the amount of resources you get from it. So if you kill a big giant like pig type creature, and then you kill a small one, you're going to get a lot more out of the bigger one. It's also going to be harder to kill. Same with the trees. If you chop down a huge tree, you're going to get a lot more wood than a small tree, and it's just little things like that that make it pretty cool. So we're going to head back to one of the first bases in the game. There's a fast travel system that you can go back to places that you've been to, landmarks that you've been to, but you can't fast travel where you haven't been. And fast travel is pretty cheap. So we're in the plainsy area now. Once this loads up, and it's pretty nice looking, I think. And everything here, see, this thing is considered a tree, and you get a hell of a lot of wood once you cut it down. And these are some of your survivors that you can rescue, and then you can build a base, surround it with turrets, put bullets in your turrets, and then fend off huge waves of monsters. You can call monsters. There's repair systems, and and solar power plant, which lets you recharge your solar items, and you cut down everything you see. You can interact with pretty much, except for this grass. Well, you can even interact with that if you dig a hole, and you can gather stuff out of the ocean. It's a very gatherer's dream, this game, but it is definitely an alpha, and it still needs a lot of work. It's not too buggy, but combat definitely needs work. Needs a lot more sounds. The game's very floaty, and there's a couple of really unpleasant bugs, but this game has a lot of potential, and I do recommend it. So this giant thing is going to be worth, like, I don't know, like 600 wood. Like that other tree was like almost 100, I think. I don't remember how much wood it just got. The one I just cut down. And yeah, and then you get so much wood that you'll never need to worry about wood again. Well, not really, because you make arrows and stuff. But yeah, you get the point. So cutting down large items yields you more stuff than smaller ones, which some other games don't do that. You see a small version of this, and it'll be worth the exact same as the giant version of it. There are aggressive enemies. There are passive enemies. Like this is a passive enemy. It won't attack me unless I like attack it. It's also one of the first enemies that you encounter, and you can get some meat off of it and all that sort of jazz. And everything gives different things. Like if you cut down this tree, it's going to give you some kind of other resource than that vine thing, and all that sort of jazz. That's a hostile enemy over there. Same kind of enemy, I think, that attacked me in the forest back there. Yeah, so I haven't really explored a lot of the different biomes yet. Just the grass and the forest so far, just because it's so enormous. And I'm not really strong enough to handle some of the later game enemies. I'll show you some other enemies. So you saw that little wolf. Let's go over here. There's like dragon type enemies over here. Well, there were at one point. And yeah, so there's a pretty large variety. You're going to run and you're going to see a lot of different creatures. And a lot of different plants. It's a very vast game. There's a lot of different things to find, a lot of different things to kill, collect, and create. So yeah, this is pretty much just a Planet Explorer. It's a very sandboxy game. You can craft a lot of different things. You can create your own stuff in here as just a reminder. You can there's a ton of quests that you get, repeatable and non-repeatable if you do the story mode, which is why I recommend doing the story mode if you actually do play it. This game's on early access right now, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to try it. So at this point, there should be an enemy over here. Oh, it's another one of those. I'm gonna run this way a little bit and see if we can find some more enemies. Like, what is that way out in the distance? There's a lot of different things that you find that are like, huh? This looks like some kind of tribe or something. I don't know, some kind of city. I haven't been over there yet. That thing's not hostile, but if you attack it, it'll rip you a new ass. It's pretty much as strong as it looks. Alright, so yeah, this is Planet Explorers. And you can get this on Steam Early Access. Not really a whole lot else to say about it. As mentioned before, this is an alpha, and this is a very sandboxy game, so you kind of do what you want to do. And in multiplayer, you can work together or work against each other. Up to you. Your single-player character doesn't transfer to your multiplayer character, at least from what I can tell. That may change, and it probably will at some point. I'm going to try and head over to this camp. It's probably full of hostile and Martian, or I'm not on Mars, I'm on some other planet. But there are Martians on this planet that are like allies that give you quests. Yeah, so it's kind of like a plainsy, deserty area, kind of. And you can just keep digging down. I tried digging straight down for a while just to see. Oh yeah, one other thing, your resources. One thing that helps out with this trying to find resources in this game, because it's kind of hard to find resources otherwise, is you get a resource scanner here. So let's say I want to find some copper. Let's see if there's any copper in this area. So this is your local area on the map on your scanner, and you choose your resource and you click scan. There's no copper right here, so let's see if there's any iron. There might not be many resources in this area. Scanning right now. When it scans, it'll show it on the map, and it'll show you in 3D. Like you'll have to dig down to find some of the resources. It's really interesting the way they do it. Hopefully, I can find a resource over here. Let me see if I can get around. I'm trying to head over to the boss here. I mean the base here. All right, so there's none of that. Let's check if there's any coal, zinc. Which one's this again? I don't know what that was. Oh, it's totally gonna be enemies. Yeah, I'm gonna fast travel back to the other area because I know there's resources right here. If you die, you're dead. But there's a lot of revival things that revive you, and you can revive when you're dead. So dying isn't really a big deal as long as you keep the revival things on you, and they're cheap, so it doesn't really matter if you die. And you will die a lot because this game. All right, so where am I? Okay. So there's definitely iron in the area. I'm positive about that. I've mined iron from this area before. So let's. I'm gonna mine iron and show you. That's where I dug straight down. That line right there. And yeah, I dug for like 10 minutes to get to that point. All right, so iron. I'm positive that's here. So there's that big chunk of iron right there. That's crazy. I was like right next to it. And yeah, so it's in 3D. So let's do copper now. So there was that big bit of iron there, and then there's a ton of copper mixed in with it. It looks like. And let's do a bunch of different things. Let's see if it. So there's iron. There's copper. That's it. But yeah, so that's how it does it. It shows you on the map in your different colors what's where. So you'd have to dig down to get it. There's no way you'd stumble across that. You'd have to use this thing to find it. Yeah, so this was once a meteor crater that I had dug the shit out of and collected a bunch of resources from. Yeah, so yeah, that's Planet Explorers. This is JZen. If you want to get this game, I'm gonna link the game in the description. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.